All right. Um, Man, I really need to start streaming when I start to do shit. Um, so, um, I was farming the Imago Loop for about maybe an hour earlier today, and I ended up with this beauty. I am so happy right now. So again, it was a week ago when I was grinding for the ship, and I finally got it an hour before reset. Fast forward a week later, grinding for the Imago Loop all week. About 100%, not as much time investment as the Iberian Thought Crime, but still a sizable time investment. And I get this about 2 hours and a half before reset. So let's let's show exactly what we got. So for starters, we got Sure Shot, which is the best sight you can have on a hand cannon, by far. Well, I mean not by far. The one I have on my Eyes Luna, True Sight is still pretty good, but Sure Shot is the one you want. Next we have Outlaw, which for those who don't know, the potential rolls you can get on this slot, Outlaw is one of 13 possible solutions that could come up on a roll. So this one is actually the hardest to get out of all of them. Next we have Extended Mag. So Extended Mag gives an extra. It's a larger magazine. It really just gives you an extra shot. I mean, it's for on a hand cannon. An extra shot can mean a lot, but not a huge deal. Really, I'm choosing this one over injection mold because I don't want to lose the range. And fallen captains, don't run into fallen captains at least now. At least now, when Rise of Iron hits, depending on how potentially some of the enemies are classified, this could be really helpful because of the fact that it is fallen captains and it's a fallen storyline. You know, it's the fallen who are getting the Siva tech spliced into them, and so depending on how they're classified, if I'm running up against a lot of captains, this bonus damage, could do some work. And so I'd have to do some testing once Rise of Iron comes out. But as it sits right now, I'd rather take the extra shot. I guess that one thing that could potentially make the roll even better is if it had Hammer Forged, which would extend the range a little bit. Which I would have been okay with, but that's actually the preferred god roll, I suppose. But man, I am good with the extended an extra magazine. And then lastly, Firefly. So that's what kind of brings it all together. The Outlaw Firefly combo. This one has a 1 in 10 chance of dropping on this slot. This is the roll that was made famous by the Fatebringer. So the Fatebringer, on my PlayStation account, I do have one. It's not upgraded because I mainly played on Xbox for a long time. And the Fatebringer, man, in year one, that is what you had. I'm pulling it over right now so you can see the difference. That was the loadout. So you had the Fatebringer, the Black Hammer as your secondary, and the Gallahorn as your as your heavy, and that was the roll. And that was what you did. It was the best PvE setup that you could have, and so And one thing that made the Fatebringer, and what's why the Imago Loop will never be a Fatebringer, is because of the arc burn. The arc burn is really one of the things that made Fatebringer so unique, because there were so many enemies that had arc shields, and so it would just burn right through them. So there are no real year 2 arc, or excuse me, no year 2 elemental primaries except for the Zalo Supercell, which is an exotic. And so um, you have you have to deal with just your kinetic damage. So Fatebringer. So the reason why there's a difference in the stability and the reload is because, again, I don't have this fully leveled, and Sure Shot. That's what was on the original. So again, you'll see Firefly, Outlaw, and this is the only gun that can roll Firefly and Outlaw, was the Fatebringer, and now the Imago Loop. So yeah, very happy. Upset at myself for not streaming this. I'm sorry. So you couldn't have seen my reaction, but it was epic. Kid is asleep. Don't want to wake them up. Almost did. Almost did. So now I'm just gonna kind of enjoy my Imago Loop. So I'm gonna cut this short, but thank you all who's watching. I might put this on YouTube, just as kind of a breakdown of the Imago Loop and why this role is so coveted. So anyone who sees this, thank you so much for watching, and you guys have a good reset. Take care.